Congressman, will you take pay if the government shuts down?
I'm honestly not sure how that works.
Well, you still get money. The members of Congress get paid. The Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said so on the floor yesterday. So will you accept that pay?
I will. You know, I am not independently wealthy, and we are like any other family. I don't think you're going to find a huge amount of sympathy you know, for people that have been furloughed or early retirement or laid off or their pension going bankrupt. You know, you're not going to find a huge amount of sympathy out there. I'm afraid that's just the reality.
Republican Representative Brandon Williams telling the American people that a big reason his party's so comfortable shutting down the government is because he'll still get paid no matter what. Actually, host Greta Bronner told him that he'd still get paid no matter what. But it still seems like everyone else knew this except for him.
With all this shutdown talk, I have got a very important reminder. Remember, if the federal government does shut down, millions of federal workers might go without pay. But do you know who still gets paid? Congress. Some lawmakers say they don't want their paychecks. But here's the thing. They're going to keep getting paid, even if they don't want them. The 27th Amendment actually protects compensation for Congress. The annual salary for most lawmakers is about $174,000. And those individuals are the ones causing us to have a shutdown. But for them, no worries, boys and girls. They'll keep getting paid.
Now that that's all cleared up and Representative Williams is relieved, he can still get a couple of cup of noodles on his dinner table. Let's look into why he then later tweeted this. I've directed that the House suspend my pay to share the burden of a potential government shutdown. Meanwhile, I'm engaged in the fight to avert one. Again, it doesn't matter what he tweets, he'll still get paid, which is why he was still in a good enough mood to joke about his elitism while thumbing his nose in the faces of his constituents by then tweeting this. Yeah, I shouldn't do interviews before having my coffee in the morning. It's so funny because when I haven't had my coffee, I accidentally forget to tell everyone that I'll still get paid, even though the actions of my party will still make sure that you don't get paid. You want to know what else is still funny? Despite the fact that no one believed him when he suggested that he's struggling, it was quickly discovered just how untrue it really is that he's not wealthy and that his family is just like everybody else's. Because besides his $174,000 salary from the government, Williams is a former Wall Street executive and Silicon Valley investor, and his financial disclosure report shows he's got a net worth of at least $3 million. And it says at least $3 million because he could be worth more than $8 million. Remember that line about how his family is just like anybody else's? Representative Williams is just like you, where your father was the CEO and chairman of Trammell Crow in Dallas. Remember that time your parents built a mansion and sold it 4 years later for nearly $10 million? Remember that too? He's just like you guys. The reason people in charge of representing us aren't representing us is because the vast majority of them have no clue what it's like to be a regular American. But they do know how to tell their constituents that they're lazy and that they better pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Representative Summer Lee pointed out just how many constituents in certain Republican districts will suffer, while their representatives focus on investigating on Biden and also shutting the government down.
In Chairman Comer's district, Republicans' shutdown will cost 8,937 of his constituents their paychecks. In Jim Jordan's district, Republicans' shutdown will cost 3,939 of his constituents their paychecks. In Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, Republicans' shutdown will cost 6,306 of her constituents their paychecks. In Lauren Boebert's district, Republicans shut down.
Democrats are the party of shutdowns. You guys love shutdowns.
Thank you very much. In Lauren Boebert's district, Republicans shutdown will cost 9,016 of her constituents their paycheck. In Paul Gosar's Arizona district, Republicans shutdown will cost 12,349 of his constituents their paycheck.
Marjorie Taylor Greene couldn't take any more of that swarm of truth stinging her, so she interrupted with the most MAGA declaration ever. The Democrats are the party of shutdowns. This while we're staring a shutdown in the face, and she somehow thinks that simply saying that is a compelling argument. They don't respect nor expect their voters to think for themselves, so they say things like that. It was still fun to see what looked like Marge getting reprimanded for her tantrum right afterwards.
In Lauren Boebert's district, Republicans shutdown will cost 9,016 of her constituents their paycheck. In Paul Gosar's Arizona district, Republicans shutdown will cost 12,349 of his constituents their paycheck.